Marvel Studio insists on secrecy when it comes to everything these days in relation to the MCU, going as far as not actually shooting a street scene on the street, instead shooting it on an entire blue or green screen and then spending tons of money on overworked CG artists to put the street back in. It's absolutely abysmal. So let's talk about how this approach actually restricted and affected the end result of Daredevil and She-Hulk. Look, I'm not here to hate on all CG. I don't do that. I'm not those people. I'm not trying to be that guy. But obviously, there's some instances where they've used CG and you didn't know that they were using CG. How many scenes did we see in WandaVision where we were like, wait a second, they weren't even in an actual living room? Huh? And then there's other scenes where you look at it and you go, oh my god, did you guys forget to put shadows on that? Yeah, you did. You actually also forgot some textures too. I mean, Spider-Man No Way Home is a prime example of this, because man, some of those theatrical scenes were rough. But recently, we learned from one of the art effects teams that worked on She-Hulk Attorney at Law, that specifically dealt with Daredevil, that things had to be done so quickly due to secrecy that they were limited in how they had to scan Charlie Cox and his suit and what they were allowed to see and do. They revealed kind of what we all expected and knew. Majority of the fight between Daredevil and She-Hulk episode 8 and their team up is CG. And they said it was largely due to the secrecy that was imposed by Marvel Studios and Disney. They weren't allowed to bring his costume out of the location that was in a closed environment with only a need-to-know basis. So they revealed that they had to scan the garage where it was happening in meticulous detail and then get the suit details like that because, again, they weren't allowed to have it there. They were also allowed only 1 day of shooting with Charlie Cox to get all of his close-ups and what the suit looks like. And then they had to work with multiple different teams that were all separate, that didn't know what was going on in its entirety, to get as much reference as possible, whether it's She-Hulk by herself with the mocap suit, whether it was the scenes done in secret with Charlie, whether it was Leapfrog, and whatever CG assets they all had to put together. And then once they all had them, they had to hand them off to Weta, who then they would have to construct the entire scene, and they would have to do their own insight and research. This is so stupid. Like, and we wonder why some of the CG in so many products being done at the same time looks so bad or questionable because of things like this. Like, it's this that's overworking people. You could have literally had Charlie and stunt doubles there on top of the building instead of just scanning it, or recreated a set and done it there and just done it. Because whatever. Oh, it leaks he's back. Yeah, we saw him. We know he's coming. You teased at it. You winked and nodded at it when you announced She-Hulk. Like, this is honestly just becoming kind of, I would say, detrimental and really impacting the end product. Because what are they going to do for Daredevil Born Again? Do the same thing? Like, good God. It's so frustrating talking about the stuff we love like this, and then seeing how they take the worst possible approach to give you a subpar result, when the end result could just be easy.